So Alfred Henry Lee is an entrepreneur from Pine Dock, Manitoba, and a member of the Fisher River First Nation who has created products from concept to consumer and provided his expertise to national and international business. He sits on various boards in Manitoba, such as Riverton and District Friendship Centre Board, International Peace Garden Board, Manitoba Legislative Building Centennial, International Peace, I read that one, Restoration, Preservation Advisory Committee, Manitoba Centennial Centre Corporation Board. At present, he's the president of the Native Canadian Chip Corporation, providing products such as potato chips and coffee on a global basis with the internet for future products such as popcorn, jerky, and cheesies. Welcome, Alfred. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome. Take my phone now.
Good afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I'll talk to myself. Okay. Yeah. My name is Alfred Lee, and I enjoy what I do is creating new products for myself. I started creating products for other people. I come from a small fishing community and also picked many rocks on a farm. So hard work is probably the main ingredient for success. You're the only one out there that can make your product work, and it's hard work. It's sometimes a lonely adventure because if you want to put all your effort into a product, that's something you have to do. Now, I come from a community, a fishing community, and then worked on farms, and then I had no idea about business as a young person, so I asked a business guy if I can, volunteer as long as he taught me, a little bit about business. And I think as a young person, you don't get the opportunity to look at a business other than hard work. My parents made me work hard. If I found a nickel on the ground, I was not to pick it up. I didn't earn it. So it's important to have, trust, because when you're doing business today, I've never signed a contract with anyone. It's always been a handshake, because that piece of paper means nothing unless your product sells. In order to make your product sell, you have to get out there and go to these trade shows. Trade shows get you in front of the buyers, get you in front of the distributors, and you make partnerships. As an example, the chips were a secondary product to the first product I made was called First Nations Cola. And I had the opportunity to work with Richard Branson on his cola business in 1995. And one of the things that Richard told me, he said, Alfred, banks are not your friend, and never go public because you would lose control. So you get an opportunity to meet people because they see your hard work. And I tell you, as young people, keep on working hard. People are looking at you. We as Canadians really don't want a pat on the back. We just want to keep working. We're a little small town mentality. We have to go outside of Canada to be successful, and that's what I did. So I had to go outside of Canada to prove myself to people in my community. So I think we all, recognize that we have to leave our small towns, and whether it's a fishing community or a farming community, and you get to look at product. And I had no money, got no money from banks. You had to work, save money, keep putting it into your product, keep moving on, and then eventually your company will take off. When it takes off, you also have another challenge, because every time you take a bigger step, it costs more money. If you want to deal with the big guys, it costs more money, and there's a lot of penalties in terms of getting a market into the distribution system. Now, with me, it's a matter of just getting out there and working hard, and it's not about me, it's not about the product, it's about young people. Young people need us as adults to move forward. We have to open the doors for our young people. And that's why I chose Riverton District Friendship Center, because we have the youth to work with. Kids are smart. You may not think that, but when you work with them, you better have their trust, because they're not going to listen to you if you don't have any trust with them. Sometimes you have to be hard on them, but at the end of the day, they'll listen to you. Now, getting the product into the U.S. was doing it from California, where right now the greatest seller is ketchup. Ketchup chips are not in the U.S. that much, but they love Tomahawk ketchup chips. I don't know why, but they do. And I also get a lot of recipes for the fire chip, for whether it's a fish batter or a chicken wing batter, or putting in popcorn. As I found out today, someone did that. But it's hard work. Never give up. Don't think about the negative things. That can weigh down. Just keep working. There are going to be people who are going to tell you that you can't make it work. That's not up to them. It's up to you to make it work. And that's what you have to do as a young person. Get out to work hard. Find someone to, mentor with you. Friendship centers, for me, is a place where I like to work with youth. Sometimes I go to extremes, like a company in the United States called munchpack.com had phoned me and asked if they can buy my product for their platform. They sold product all over the world. In trying to get the product to them by LTL was very expensive. But I liked their story. They were 26-year-old kids. I call them kids because I'm 70 now, so I call them kids. And they started in their basement, much like Richard Branson started in his basement. And just, if you have a product, you're the best one to make it work. But the people in Munchpack, when I arrived there, I decided to take the chips down myself. And when I arrived there, at the address, the back door, I rang the bell to make the delivery, and out popped, I thought she belonged to a circus because she had yellow hair, colored socks, and so forth. So almost like a circus performer. But once I got inside, I met the owners, and they were very young, and they worked with other youth. We call them youth up until 29, I believe, under the Friendship Center movement. But the thing is that I want to work with those young people. I want to help them. I want to understand them. So that's why I go out of my way to work with the young people, because I know that they need help the same way I do, because I got help from people. After I succeeded, everybody came forward and wanted to make sure that you kept working, that you kept your product going. So there are people out there who will help you, but they have to see you working. Hard work gets you places. I keep emphasizing that because that's what I had to do, and other people that I met. You're not going to get a loan from a bank. It's very hard, especially if you have a stale-dated product like I have. You only have a certain time in which to get that product into the marketplace and sold. And that's very important. Time is money. So I traveled to Colombia, I think a couple years ago, and I also, to develop a coffee. But I had to find someone to make the coffee, and I did. I found Middle Lake Specialty Foods with Paul to do my roasting because I was looking for. I didn't know he had roasters for his hemp product, so we decided to partner in terms of a private label for my product, coffee, and start a business in the coffee side. So you have to, look around. Don't be afraid to try new things. Make sure that, that you're the one that's driving your company. I don't know how to emphasize any stronger than that. But it's very important to, not be afraid to travel. So people around the world recognize Tomahawk chips simply because I chose to do the marketing first rather than create a product. I've met people who got product made in China and didn't do the marketing. They got stuck with a lot of their candies simply because when you go to a distributor, they already have product, and it's your job to make sure that they can make money on yours. You're going to knock on their door, most likely they're going to say no because they already have product. So your job is to go around to all the little stores that they sell to, and at the end of the day, they have their product sitting on the floor, and they're asking their salespeople, why aren't those products moving? They say, well, Tomahawk chips is there. So now they remember you. And the only reason they remember you is because you're affecting their bottom line. And that applies to any product. You have to affect the purse. You have to, make sure that, that they can make money on your product. And that's important. Price is everything. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't underestimate, your product. And I learned that from young people because I tell them that you can sell this product for $1.50, and they in turn tell me, no, Alfred, you can only sell it for $2. I said, no, you have to sell it for $1.50. He said, no, $2. And I found out that the reason that they want $2 is because nobody wants to carry that 50 cents in their pocket, the 2 quarters. So that's a lesson learned. You always don't see things. You have to listen to other people. Same as the recipes they get. I never thought that, I had a product that, could be used for other uses, other than as fish or a chicken or anything like that, or hamburgers. People send you these ideas, and people give you ideas. But you have to be out there. You have to make sure that, you don't criticize people for not helping. You have to always look forward. Looking backwards and getting upset at people, at institutions that want to lend you money, don't lend you money. You can't be upset because you're wasting your time if you're thinking negatively. You have to always think forward. And that's an important thing. One of the things that I get all the time is kids ask me, can we be a salesperson? I said, sure you can. You can set up your own little canteen. That's how you learn. Like we in the Friendship Center, we have the chips, and we sell them. And the reason we have the kids sell them is because they don't know how to count money. They only have, their debit card, and they don't know, what change is, what coin is. They don't know how to count that coin. They just hold their hand out to the storekeeper and say, well, we want to buy this, and, they look for the trust, that the guy's going to take that $1.50 for the chips. So that's very important, is to help youth in any way you can. The Friendship Centers are one area that we have 116 across Canada, and a lot of them, push chips, and that's one of the things that I get in return for working with youth. So other than that, is there any questions? I see some youth in the corner. Oh, yes.
What are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned over your time producing this product? Things I wouldn't say you want to go back and do over, but things you've learned from it.
I guess it comes from my upbringing is that, is to be trustworthy because a handshake is greater than the money. Like that's so important. Is when you can shake somebody's hand, you know that they understand business. And one of the things that distributors, when you knock on the door and you come back again, they know you paid your dues. Another businessman will look at you and say, he's paid his dues. And that's one thing I've learned is that I didn't recognize it before. I've never come from a business community. I know we had to sell fish in order to make money. That's where I come from. Oh yes, yeah. Trade shows are expensive, and that's where you get to meet your buyers and your stores, or I should say the retailer. And usually at the trade shows, I try to look for the kids that are running back and forth with their parents, and you wave the kids in, give them a bag of chips, and they go back to their parents who, own the store or a distributor. And when you're walking around a trade show, you don't always see the product because they never tasted before. And if a kid has it and the parents see it, they know that it's a good product because kids will tell you right away that, no, it's not a good product, I don't like it. So that's important to listen to the kid. Yep. They should be in Walmart. They're at the different Petrocan gas stations, some of the co-ops and that. But one of the things I have to say is that stores don't have a lot of inventory because it takes space. Before, in the old days, the stores had inventory. Today they don't because they can order it online and they can bring it the next day through the distribution system. But right now, because of the gas, the price, that makes it harder. We're making a delivery once a week. Now it's going to 2 weeks at a time. Because they don't have the storage for products and that. And people are hoarding the chips. Like when they go to Walmart, they buy 3 or 4 to 6 bags. And then they turn around and tell you, well, where are they? Well, you hoarded them. You don't. That's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. So I don't know. I had it on Amazon, but Amazon, was selling my small bag of chips for $13 US, like the 43-gram bag. That's a small bag. People were paying $13 US because they like chips. They phoned me and they said, your chips are a little expensive. But then I told them that on Amazon, once the inventory gets lower, the price goes up because they're trying to tell you not to buy. They're not going to say they're running out. They're going to drive the price up. Because people want it, they will pay for it. I don't get that. I get nothing near $13. So, people ask, what is your price range? And I tell them, well, it's from $1.50 to $13 US, and they don't believe me. But that's the way it is. But I took them off Amazon, but I'm going to go back on with a different price so that I can have an advantage. Oh, all right. At the end of the presentation, if you'd like to try some samples for the coffee that we have, you can do that. We brought some sample packs. Yep.
What's your barrier to making more, like the supply? Why can't you have lots of supply in this? What's the barrier there?
The barrier is inventory. They have nowhere, because chips are bulky. They take up a lot of space. So the industry changed from inventory carried by the retailer to immediate delivery within a couple of days, within a week period. Now it's a 2-week period, and so the stores don't have the ability to store it. So people buy it and it's gone, and they have to wait another 2 weeks. That is troubling for me, because I don't have my own trucks to deliver. Even if I did, then I'd have the same, I'm in the same position, because now I'm sharing delivery costs with distributors because they have other product on their trucks.
Alfred, maybe I'll give you the mic here, the hand mic, and you can go over and talk about some of the products that you have over there. Hello, I'm just gonna turn this one on. Maybe. Test. Okay. I'm going to head over to your products and maybe just give them a little example of the things you have.
So I'm going to go over to my products here and show you what it is. Now, each bag has a different artwork. So I buy the artwork from the individual, and they have the right to continue, doing their selling, their art. So I'm just a medium for them. Same as with coffee, the same thing. That's what I want to do, is to make sure that, that you're helping, and that's what's important, is to help artists. A lot of artists don't have the money to do their own marketing and stuff like that. So that's why I chose a medium to do that. And it also helps the retailer to say to the public and the indigenous population that, yes, we're a friend. So it's important that they're showing their support by having the product as well. So that's a good thing.
Do you use the same artist?
No, we use different ones. Different bags have different artists, and their names are on the bags. In the U.S., the artwork is a little different. They have pencil art, and that artwork is not as vibrant as these ones. They're more penciled. With the pencil art, in the U.S., when an artist looks at the different artwork, it's a certain way that the different artists stroke their pen, some to the right, some to the left. And each time that stroke, it tells a story. Each artwork they do tells a story about who they are, about the history. And I didn't know that. I just looked at the artwork and just seen it as a picture. I didn't see anything else in there. And that's what's different. Yeah.
Businesses that are looking to get their product into a store, what's the best way to go about that? Or how did you get into the big stores?
One of the things that I chose to do was to go around to the small stores like I did with the distributors, and that's one of the things with munchpack.com, is it went onto their platform and they sold all over the world, and Walmart's seen it and Amazon's seen it. So it's important to make the big guys come to you, and that's how you do it. It's hard work. You have to get out there. You have to continuously going to trade shows, meeting people. Get out there, Don't sit back, because if you sit back, they're not going to find you. You have to find them. They have to see your energy. They have to know that you are the product. So my chips, the stores wanted me to come into the store and meet them, because they were afraid that The company was owned by a non-Indigenous. They wanted to see if I was Indigenous, so I'd have to show up. I mean, Casey from the Coke doesn't have to visit these stores and show your face that who he is. I have to do that. So that's a little bit different than the mainstream. I have that advantage. It was a disadvantage at the beginning. But you don't look at disadvantages. You look at how can you move away? How can you make it grow? How can you show yourself as being different? I'm not different. I'm a human being just like everybody else. And the only difference is we have to work hard. Business is not easy. There are many, many things that can happen to you in taxation. Your trucks break down. Every time you try to go to a new product, it costs you more money. But you better be sure that that change is going to sell, because sales what makes your company work. So that's what's most important. Get the big guys come to you, then you don't have to follow their rules because there are penalties to that. But once they want you, then they make those changes and they accept that. Then they, take your pricing as it is, because you can't underprice yourself because you'll go broke. Any other questions? Yes, anybody can come down and take a look.